What's going on, guys? This is Andrew Pinch. This is going to be a little bit of a change of scenery here. It's getting kind of hot, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a morning video here. It's just more going to be kind of shooting from the hip, talking about cost of living in Vero Beach after rapid inflation. Now, I know rapid inflation's been everywhere, but right now we're just going to talk about how it's affected us locally here in Vero Beach. So first and foremost, of course, since this is a relocation channel talking about real estate, let's go ahead and dive into the housing costs first. We've got a median sales price right now in Vero Beach of $403,000, which is actually up 5% over last year's number, which is actually kind of crazy to think about. But I really think that that has to do with our limited inventory in Vero Beach. Now, I can't speak for other parts of Florida, places like Port St. Lucie, for instance. I know Orlando is growing a ton. They're opening up a lot of new neighborhoods, and that area is still having a lot of new growth popping up. While Vero Beach, for instance, they limit the growth on purpose. So we have the Indian River County, a very hard building department to get through.
Well, I was hoping you could run a play for us. We are in a really big hurry.
Sure.
Let's also talk about rents. So rents, the average prices or median rent price right now is about $2,700 a month, which is actually down. So that's good, especially for those folks out there who want to rent in the area first, just to make sure you're making the right choice. I mean, the fact that we've gone down $300 per month is actually pretty significant drop for those rental prices. So that's a thumbs up for me. I'm glad that those rental prices are coming back down. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the challenges for you first-time home buyers out there. Now, I don't get a ton of first-time home buyers. In fact, most people that I work with are actually cash buyers right now.
Do you accept cash?
I don't know. That's probably a mixture of just who's in the market, which area I'm in. Of course, I'm in a very heavy retirement area where I sell real estate. It could also be a factor as to the interest rates and everything we're seeing. So for first-time home buyers out there who are watching this channel, just know the challenges that we're seeing with that, of course, that you're seeing everywhere else, is the rising interest rates are not offsetting the prices. The prices, of course, we just went over, are 5% higher over where they were last year. Of course, the interest rates are probably a little bit higher than where they were last year too, which means not only are you increasing your down payment requirement, so now if you're doing 3.5% down FHA, 5% down conventional, that number of what you need to save is increasing while the cost of everything is increasing. Also, the monthly payment that you will be having for your mortgage is also going up because of those interest rates. So first-time home buyers are really getting slammed in all different directions right now, because of the rising cost of the houses to come up with that down payment, the rising cost of the maintenance or the the monthly obligations that you have to pay due to the interest rate. It's honestly just a never-ending storm, it feels like, for these first-time home buyers out there. And I feel so bad for a lot of folks out there who are just trying to make it work, and maybe their compensation's not growing at the rate that inflation's growing at, which has been proven many times to be true. I did want to mention one thing. It's called the Hometown Heroes program. Now, I'm not a lender. I'm just a realtor. So if you did want to reach out to us, we do have preferred lenders that do have access to that Hometown Heroes program. I won't go into a lot of details about it because then again, I'm not a lender. I don't have the ins and outs of the details of it, but I do know that they are offering down payment assistance along with assistance for closing costs. So that could be a very, very lucrative program for someone to get into their first home. So if you wanted to find out more about that, maybe talk with our preferred lender, go ahead and reach out to me and I'll gladly connect you with someone who can help. All right, now let's move on to utilities and services. So utilities, more so just talking about electric bill and water bill. So the electric bill right now, the average what we have coming in for Vero Beach is about $220 a month. It's not a huge number in my opinion. We're right around that same amount. I think we're probably around like the 140 to 160 mark. And I like to sleep with it cold. We kick it down to 68 every night. But the thing with kicking it down low at night is you're actually working your AC harder during off-peak electrical hours. Speaking about off-peak electrical hours, if you plan on having an EV, or if you have an EV now while watching this, electric vehicle, FP&L has a really cool program where they actually do not charge you for charging your vehicle every night during off-peak electrical hours, which is between 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day. It's $30 $8 a month if you do not have a 220 or 240, whatever the voltage plug that you need in order to keep it. So they run it straight to the electrical panel in my garage. That includes the equipment, that includes the install. There is no upfront payment, and that also includes unlimited off-peak electrical hour charging. So the most you'll pay is $38 a month to drive unlimited miles, and that's all I pay. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the water bill. So my family, we have 2 dogs. Obviously, we shower daily, and I have a 2.5-year-old, almost 3-year-old now, who takes, a full tub of water bath in the morning sometimes, and also in the evening. But just know that a family of 3 plus 2 dogs is spending roughly about $60 a month in that water bill. Now for internet, I pay about $100 a month for very, very high speed internet through AT&T fiber. And to me, that is extremely, extremely worth it. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about groceries and dining out. According to payscale.com, Vero Beach grocery prices are roughly 14% higher than the national average. It's actually lower than when I lived in Orlando, to be honest with you. So to me, it was a plus. Dining out, it's ridiculous.
What did it cost?
Everything.
We try not to dine out as much as we used to because the cost of just there's no scenario hardly ever whenever my wife and I go out to eat, just us, not even Cannon. My wife and I go out to eat and we don't spend $100. It just happens every single time. Now for transportation, I of course drive an EV truck now, so I don't pay too much attention to it. My wife still has her Grand Cherokee, but right now it's average $3.29 a gallon. Not too crazy, in my opinion. Now let's jump into entertainment and activities. So what I'm gonna kind of categorize this under is going out in the boat, going to the beach, doing the sort of outdoor things, the parks, the trails. There's a lot of things to do here in Florida. Everything's free here. You can go over the bridge and you will not pay a single toll for going over that bridge. You can park at the beach for 2 hours. But when I say you can literally just move your car 1 or 2 spaces over, 100% for free. Also boat ramps. So you can take your boat, which when I lived up in Orlando and I launched out of New Smyrna, I had to pay this crazy high fee, 100% for free in order to do that. So you can just go launch your boat over at Riverside. You just launch your boat, you keep your truck there, you can park your truck and trailer there. I also want to mention fitness and wellness. So if you're talking about gyms, I go to a gym called Lifestyle 24/7. So I pay $30 a month for that. It's a 24-hour gym. It's got everything that I need. Now, a lot of people here like to go to Vero Fitness. Vero Fitness has got the multi-story, I think it's 2-story gym. It's got pools, tennis courts, volleyball courts, and that costs about $60 a month. Yeah, guys, cost of living is significantly higher in every area. Now, I don't know if Vero Beach has had more of an increase or anything, but I do know that 14% over the national average has probably been a consistent thing even before this rapid inflation took place. If you did want to reach out and work with us as far as a relocation to this part of Florida, I do run a team and we'd be happy to assist you whenever you make that move over here. Be happy to meet you. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, because we promise that we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we've got your back when you make that move over here to the Florida East Coast. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we'll talk again next week. Bye. Hi, honey. She's in the window. Hello. I look good? You look good. Love you, babe.